How about you show me how you're performing right now? Because a lot of people go up and say, I did this, this, this and this, but realistically, wouldn't you like someone to show you and prove it to you?
Right,
and that's what it was about.
Of course.
And in fact, that's what Nick actually did. So for me, actually seeing that gave me the confidence and gave me the confidence for me to say, I want to give that strategy a go.
Now, how did he do that, though? I mean, you said that's what Nick actually did. How did he do? That sounds so different than what everybody else does. So tell me a little bit, how did that happen?
Well, Nick was up on stage basically presenting the strategy and showing us how the strategy works, but also said, look, folks, this is how the strategy works, and this is how we apply it, and this is what we're generating right now. Now, would you like to receive this income into your account up front, irrespective of what happens in the market? And I thought, well, the results are there. Realistically, when I did the other 4 programs, I never saw those results. All I saw was past results that were previous 3, 6, 12 months.
But the returns also like the hope of making money.
That's exactly right.
What we're doing here is like we're providing certainty. You know, let's face it, we're all looking for certainty in our lives. I mean, you can budget, you know, your mortgages and your personal repayments and your credit card payments with certainty when you know exactly how much money is coming and actually being deposited into your account. And that's what really was very striking about this particular strategy, the way we explained it.
Right, the way you explained it, that people can actually see precisely.
But showing like actual evidence, like right now, if you do this, if you follow this step, and if you follow this step over here, this is exactly what you generate.
That's right.
You know, up front. Before, you know, I mean, you know exactly how much money you make.
Let me just make sure that I'm tracking correctly. It's if I do this, this, and this, and I push click, send,
bang,
bang, the money's in my account.
So originally, what happened with me was this. See, having no experience of the stock market and going to these seminars, the speakers up on stage were saying, folks, you're putting $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, I can show you how to earn 50% overnight. But what they didn't show you is how I can lose you 50% overnight if it goes against you. And that's trading direction.
Right.
Now, realistically, what I've learned over the past 10 years doing this particular strategy is this. People will put money onto the market, irrespective of what strategy on the stock market, will put money on the market, irrespective of amount, hoping to trade a direction.
Right.
Now, if the market goes against their direction,
up or down,
whether the market goes up or the market goes down, people can make money either in an up direction or a down direction.
Right.
But realistically, let's say we're trading a down direction. If the market goes down, we will make money because we're trading that direction. But if it goes against us and it goes up, will we make money?
You lose it all.
That's right. If it goes sideways, do we make money?
No.
No. So realistically, you're relying on 1/3 of a direction to actually make money.
Right.
Because we're trading the down
and you've
market.
got to get that one right.
So 1/3 is in your favour, 2/3 are against you. Are the odds in your favour?
I mean, it's better off playing roulette.
That's it. Yeah, right.
So
right. Red or black, it's better than that. Okay.
So when people say to you, you know, it's the stock market, I know someone that knows someone that's lost money on the stock market, and they say it's gambling. Well, when you're actually sitting there trading a strategy and trading a direction, absolutely, they're right. But the way Nick presented this strategy and the way I learned this strategy and the way I present it now is totally different, to allow people to understand this strategy in a very clear and concise manner and actually show them the results, current results. So in my case originally, back in '99, I invested with Nick.
Right.
So
even though you promised your fiancée.
Well, I was just about to mention that.
What did she say?
I get home and I said, hi honey, how you going? This is after the event, and I've invested in Nick and in SHARELORD. And I get home and I go, honey, you're not going to believe this. She said, what have you done? I said, I've invested in another program. She's like, what? And I said, but you're not going to believe this. I'm trying to explain this to her. So I'm all excited. I go, look, 95% of people speculate, 5% create the markets, and I'm going at it. And she's like, what the hell have you done?
She just joined a cult.
Yeah. So I explained it to her. She says, okay, we've got $10,000 left in our account. That's all we've got. Now, bearing in mind, I was building a house and getting married. Outlaying over $40,000 on 4 programs to lose $70,000. That was the income that we were using, or the money that we were using to build our house and get married. So my wife wasn't impressed with me.
She was not impressed.
She was not impressed with me, or my future wife at the time. But what you need to understand is this.
Did she become your wife?
She is.
Okay, good.
What a relationship.
Okay, good.
She's the love of my life.
There was a happy ending to this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But what you need to understand is this. Many people will fall down and never get back up. Now let me just explain something to you. The average person will die at the age of 21 and get buried at the average age of 65.
That's right.
And what I mean by that is this. A lot of people will go to university or TAFE or college and finish their education at the average age of 21 and sit in a comfort zone all the way through their whole life and never step out of that comfort zone until they die.
and all the while expressing a desire to have more, to be more,
Correct.
to
It's
do
more like
more.
the what if, you know,
Yeah.
what if I don't know? Reflecting back.
And then they
And
look
yet
back.
they don't do anything.
That's right. And then they look back and they go, I should have done that.
That's
or
right.
I should have given it a go. Well, in my case, it was, I'd rather give it a go, and if it doesn't work, I've learned from that experience.
Right.
Now, I'm grateful for those 4 programs that I invested in that lost me the $70,000 because it got me to where I am right now.
Right.
So I had to go through that path. Now, at the time, losing that money, it didn't feel great. And that's, that's you know, the honest truth. So what happened with me was this. In 2003, I retired at the age of 28 and basically got into various businesses with family and things like that. And then at 2007, Nick Halik was doing his space training. And he rang me up and says, George, I've mentored you since '99 and I've worked with you and helped you and got you to the level where you are. And for me, it's not about how much money I earn or how much money's sitting in my bank account. What I wanted was the choice. See, money doesn't make people happy, but money gives you choice.
That's right.
And that's what I wanted. Because a lot of people go, I want money, I want to do this, I want to drive my car, this fancy car. Realistically, folks, it's not about the fancy car that you drive. It's not about, you know, how you look or what you wear. I mean, a lot of people wear more money on the outside than what they do on the inside to educate themselves.
That's exactly
So
right.
for me, learning from Nick as well was, don't worry about the car that you drive, don't worry about what people think. It's about giving you the choice and the lifestyle that you want to live. And for me, it was spending time with my family, because growing up, not seeing my father, because all he knew was to do was work.
Right, it's a big
What my
impact
goal
on you.
is not how much money I've got in my bank account, but have the amount of money to give me the choice to be able to spend time with my family.
Right.
And that's what it was. And that's what SHARELORD gave me. So in 2007, Nick Halik was doing his training. He said, look, George, we've become very good friends. I know you. We've worked together. I trust you. I need someone to come on board and work with me because I'm going to Russia full time to do my training.
Right, and for everybody that's watching this right now, what George is referring to is the training that Nick did to become a cosmonaut at the Yuri Gagarin Center right outside
Russia.
of Moscow, in order to pursue his ultimate bucket list goal. Now you become a cosmonaut, and
Absolutely.
astronaut, story for another day, but
Yes.
we're working on the other
That's a
one.
really important point, because, you know, you came from a job of necessity
That's right.
and you developed a career of choice.
Correct.
You know, but
Correct.
you made that conscious decision that you're going to do whatever it took.
That's exactly right. So a lot of people work by necessity. I choose to work by choice. So what I do now in life, I choose to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. And that's what's allowed me to do, thanks to the stock market and Nick and SHARELORD. In late 2007, early 2008, Nick Halik basically said to me, George, I want you to get up on stage and start presenting SHARELORD and also running the mentoring team that we have. So right now, that's what I do. I travel around the world presenting SHARELORD and also running the mentoring team to make sure the students out there succeed with this strategy. Now, as we all know, there is risk in everything we do. But unless we take on that risk, we're never going to get anywhere in life.
Right.
So for me, that's basically what I had to do.
And I can see that you're very, very passionate
I
about
am.
this whole. It's not only about SHARELORD; it's about SHARELORD and your family, and showing
Absolutely.
that you could. And,
Absolutely.
And the stuff that came from your dad, and not reliving that experience of never being home for your children, the whole thing. Now, obviously, I know that there are calculated risks in just about anything that we do, including SHARELORD. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But the benefit of SHARELORD is this: when it comes to the stock market, you have various strategies with various levels of risk. SHARELORD is one of the strategies that has a very low risk component that still pays consistent returns every month, irrespective of market direction. So in my case, learning these other 4 programs back in '99, which were very aggressive with very high risk and high return strategies, I learned to change my mindset and look at a strategy that's very conservative, which is what SHARELORD was all about. So in my case, basically now what I do is this: as I said, I travel around the world presenting this strategy and also running the mentoring team.